really tough for me in high school. And so my instructor did an ear thing for me. He said, when I walk in, I'm going to play a note, and then you tell me what the next note is. And I went, well, how am I going to do that? He says, well, do you know your do, re, fa, sol, la, ti, do, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do? Go to the Sound of Music. YouTube that. They got a song, do, a deer, a female deer. It's how to hear the major scale, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So if somebody gives you a note, you can find that next note, even though it's like a little chromatic altered if it's a flatted fifth. You know, if you give me and tell me what this is, well, I know that's a flatted fifth. Do, 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 do. So I go up to the fifth and I go half step down. Yeah, that's it. And he really helped me, and that's how I identify chords also. But if you're new to it, also, we do the same thing. You know, you hear a song, you're trying to figure out what key it is. Well, find the bass note. See if you can find the bass note. See if your ear will take you there. And that's how we find a song. You know, if I hear a song and it's playing, I'm like, what key is that in? You know, I'll do that thing along with my little formula that, you know, I know what all the keys, chords of a major key sound like. And so if it's in that format, I'm pretty good to go. Or I'll hear a song on the way home and I'll go, oh, man, I don't know what key it's in, but I can remember all the chords and the patterns. I can see them in my head. And then I'll go home and figure out what key that song was in. But that's how we identify chords, really, is to hear the bass note, the root of these chords. You know, what was that chord? And then is it major, minor, diminished, altered? You know, your ear will start telling you if it's a major, minor, diminished, altered, because you got to learn all these chords. Those, you know, so that's what I'm telling you with all the open stuff, and then get your altered chords going. There's other things like major, minor chords that have a major seventh on top. So like, got A minor. You know, I hate to say, you know, Stairway to Heaven, but A minor was a major seventh, very cool sounding. You've heard this pattern before. All the notes on top stay the same. You're just taking the bottom one like that. But if you end on A and you play this chord, it's really cool. And it's A minor ninth with a major seventh. So however you want to call that chord. I'm going to tell you, there's a couple songs I'm going to tell you. I think I told you about funky music, how to, you know, when you see a dominant chord, which E7, major seventh, as opposed to a flat seven. If it's a flat seven, like an E9 James Brown thing, you know, well, where am I going to start soloing? Well, the first thing you're going to go is, well, every key has just one dominant seventh. That means, and if you have your thing written out and you see it, oh, E7, that means I'm in the key of A. That means I'm going to use the A major scale to solo over funky music, you know, and various other things like that. The little bebop thing I'm going to teach you later works over it. That, okay? A major scale. And chromatics in there. And also the other melodic minors will create some dominant sevenths. Harmonic minors will. You can play diminished scales over it. You can play whole tone scales. They're really amazing. But I'm going to give you the basics of that. There's a song I'm sure you've heard. You may not ever want to hear the song again, called Dreams by Fleetwood Mac, Fleetwood Flack. I haven't even practiced. It just came out of my head. But anyway, essentially it's F major seventh to G. Well, that tells me something. There's two major chords a whole step apart. And one's major seventh, and one's of them dominant. That tells me I'm in the key of C. So if I'm playing Dreams, I can play a C major scale, and that's how I'm going to do it. And I'll show you these positions in a minute. Another one is like, well, Evil Ways, and I want to get into identifying the keys too. Evil Ways, Santana. The majority of the song is G minor to C. That's a 2-5 in the key of F. The song is not in B flat, it's not in G minor, it's in F. And the way you identify keys is what major scale am I going to use to solo over this thing? And if you're playing Evil Ways, you're going to be playing an F major scale G Dorian. I've seen it transcribed in B flat. It just blows me away. I mean, what are they thinking? It's F, okay? We'll talk about key signatures later. But anyway, evil ways, if you're soloing, F major scale. Tequila, I think I was showing that before. Again, two major chords a whole step apart. If I can learn how to play it correctly. The first one's F, the second one's E flat. If you look at your scales, you'll find out that that's a B flat scale. Because F is a 5 chord, E flat is the 4. B flat. I wanted to tell you another thing about power chords, going back to that. You play them with your pinky, okay? Anything other than your A and your E, you're going to play them with your little finger. And watch all the power chord guys do it, rockers. But I've seen guys try to do it with this and big old stretch. It doesn't work. We do everything to try to make things easy at work, and that's one of them. So if you play your power chords anywhere else but your E and your A, it's going to be your little pinky. Okay? So your index finger for your E and your A, the rest of the time. I have a little warm-up thing that I do, and I also play bass. And this works for both of them. And you want to integrate your little finger all the time. You don't want to ever forget about that thing. It's I use it for pull-offs, like, you know. Okay, little finger all the time. Don't cut it off. Don't forget about it. So these warm-ups are just for 4 strings, and I do the same thing on bass. And it's a nice alternative, alternate picking thing. And what it is, you start on your A and just go 1, 2. So it's your pick is always going down, up, down, up. Your left hand is going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, up on 4 strings. So it's going to go like this. And then you're going to repeat the top one and go back down. And then you're going to start over. So it's going to be. And you can do that twice. And then you're going to do your second and third finger. And believe me, this will mess with you when you try to get your pick to do the up and down thing. But once you get it, you'll get your alternate picking will start to happen. The third one is your last 2 fingers, these 2 here, and this is where you're going to use your pinky and get your picking nice and strong. It's fairly hard. So what you do is you make a 5-minute pattern of that whole thing. Okay, 5 minutes minimum. That's your average song when you're playing in a gig is 5 minutes. The second warm-up is more of a chromatic thing. Goes 1, 2, 3, 2 on 4 strings, and you're up and down picking. Okay, then that's going to go to 3, 4, 3, 2. Okay, so the way you map things out is, if you can see this, there's a fret per finger. Okay, so you'll always know where you're at. You're not going to move your hand at all for any of these. You're just going to stay right there. This one, the second one, is going to be a downstroke, down, up. 3, 4, 3, 2. Okay, that whole thing, and then you go back to it's going to last 5 minutes. The next one, you're going to double up on your picking. So where your fingers went 1, 2, and you went down, up, now you're going to do down, up, down, up. You're going to go down, up on the first note, and the second, then repeat that on the second. So you're going to do two picking things as opposed to one. So it's going to be. And then you're going to do your two middle fingers, which is 2 and 3. So just two picking strokes instead of one, all the way up. Then you can do it for your last two fingers, 3 and 4. Okay, now this next one is it's an octave thing, and it's a killer for bass. I've never tried picking it on guitar, but I'm going to give it a shot. But anyway, you're going to play octaves, and that's an octave, remember, is 8 notes. So an F and octave apart means 8 notes apart. So you're going to start with your F down here. And I'll bring it in. So it's going to go, and it's going to be 2 per, 2 Fs and then 2 Fs. But you can play your octaves with your first and third finger. Then you're going to come back down on the next fret. With your pinky, and then you're going to play the octave of that with your second finger. So it's going to go 1, 3, 1, 3, 4, 2, 4, 2. Whoa, if I could learn how to play guitar. Okay. I don't know if you can see that. So it's 1, 3, moving up a string, and then coming back with your 4, 2. Okay, and then just keep up the fretboard until you get to up to E, and then you turn around. So it's I play bass every night and it screws me up. One more time. Okay, sloppy but true, and you can figure it out. Anyway, you run those things for about 20 minutes, and if you're really serious about playing, you'll run them for an hour or ever how long. It's like the longer you practice, if you practice correctly, which is really important to have the right teacher, you can get good really, really quick. Okay? Enough for that.